All right, guys, welcome. Today's lesson is going to be called Gene Therapy, quotations mark. Uh, excuse me. Or once I smell that water. It's a little bit warm today. Gene therapy. The normal existence for a human is, pre-church, pre-religion, pre-cult. 4,000 years ago, before we were enslaved, our normal existence was we would poop in the soil, the plants would turn sunlight into carbohydrate, they would put that into the soil. Now, we would have an explosion of 10 billion microorganisms that are leaving us. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm short of time today, guys. Every time you poop, 10 billion microorganisms leave you. There are 1,000 different species of microorganisms living in your tummy. You need these guys. They're doing important jobs. Your yogurt commercial is saying, hey, there's 3 microorganisms that are helping digestion. Untrue. It's not untrue that there's 3 guys that are helping. There are 1,000 different species. There are 3 found in yogurt, and they're almost useless. They help in digestion a little bit. But you're missing 997 different species. People that are saying, hey, I'm going to boost my gut health by eating kimchi, pickles, yogurt, fermented foods. You're getting 3 species of microorganisms. You need 1,000 species at the exact number at any given time. 10 billion are leaving you every day. If you are living in a life cycle with a water treatment plant, your poop is going to the water treatment plant. The 10 billion guys that are doing every necessary job inside of your tummy, inside of your body, literally curing cancer, literally curing Huntington's disease. Wow, that's coming out rough. They're going into the water treatment plant and being murdered. The guys that are making your sex, your natural Viagra, the guys that are making your spinal fluid that your brain sits in and needs to be swapped out 100% every single day. Your brain produces waste. It's doing work, producing waste. This liquid has to be changed out every single day. Your T3, T4, and T5 chemicals here, your natural Ozempic. Everybody got fat the second we separated ourselves from nature because we had a natural supply of GLP-1s permanently for free without side effect, as long as we had our garden outside. The 10 billion microorganisms were going into the soil. The plants were putting sugar into the soil. When the donor microorganisms meet the sugar, boom, we've got this genesis of microorganisms. 10 billion turn into 100 trillion. So beautiful. Now, the second that happens, this soil is going to explode to life. It's going to look like a whole different thing. And then, not only the microorganisms have come out of you, calcium, magnesium, nitrogen, phosphorus, everything that the plant needs has come out of you. Because we've been living in a life cycle for billions of years with these amazing plants. Every single thing the plant needs comes out of you. You're exhaling poison, but that poison is the oxygen of the plant. Everything's going in this perfect, beautiful circle as long as you are living with and connected to these plants. Now, the plants are taking up the calcium, magnesium, nitrogen, and phosphorus, as well as water, as well as the microorganisms. And now, as the microorganisms are doing the same job, beneficial jobs in the soil, as they do in you, as they do in the tree is covered in microorganisms now. The tree has a microbiome in the wood, in the bark, in the leaves, in the fruit, in the seed of the fruit. There is a microbiome, complete microbiome, in every seed, so that wherever this plant, wherever this seed gets planted, you're the Uber for the seed. You're going to pick the fruit, you're going to walk somewhere else, and now the seed is going to get planted where you discard it. Symbiotic. Everything is symbiotic. Everything's going in a circle. Everything's going in a circle until we break it and try to live apart. Then all of a sudden we start dying. You're the Uber for this seed. You're going to eat the apple and walk somewhere else. Necessarily. If this guy just drops his seed here, now he has to compete with his offspring for sunlight, for the nutrients in the ground, for everything. One of these guys is going to die. So you're absolutely necessary. Isn't that cool? You're the Uber. You're delivering not just the seed. Every single seed has 1,000 microorganisms inside of it in a lower amount, because we're going to meet the soil, we're going to have the sugar in the soil, boom, we're going to see this explosion at the same time as we're seeing this growth. So beautiful, so breathtaking, until we remove ourselves. Nice people. Once we remove ourselves, now this system is to lose 10 billion of these microorganisms. Then you're going to poop tomorrow and lose 10 billion. The next day 10 billion, the next day 10 billion, the next day 10 billion, and soon you're not capable of doing these jobs. You cannot function unless you replace this spinal fluid in your head 100% every single day. If we reduce the number of microorganisms inside of your head, we're reducing the amount of the liquid that is being manufactured. And I did just choke right there. we're reducing the amount of spinal fluid being made, and so we're obviously reducing the amount that is being changed out, until an entire country of 341 million dead people are saying, I don't feel anything but fear. There's a lot to be scared of now, but I don't feel anything but fear. I used to feel happiness. Generations before us felt happiness, contentment, sexual release when they had sex. And now when we have sex, we still are saying, hey, where's the sex at? That didn't do it. That didn't do it. And we just revert back to this natural state of feeling afraid. Everybody's identifying as afraid, anxious. Our identification is no longer in, what our parents did, what our beliefs are. It's our triggers. Everybody's saying we're all scared, but when somebody says certain words, that's what triggers my fear. And that's not supposed to be a thing. There aren't supposed to be 341 million people saying I'm scared all of the time, and you need to watch what you say, because I might get more triggered than I already am, become more anxious. Now, gene therapy comes in, quotations mark. Therapy comes in 3 continents. We've got some amazing things happening. Amazing things happening. We have just had success at treating cancer without chemotherapy. We had a large percentage of people dying of the cure for cancer. They're not dying of the cancer, they're dying of the medicine. And so these people have used, quotations mark, gene therapy to insert a chemical that is causing the body to eat the cancer. The body is consuming the cancer. The body is recognizing this as a threat and eating the cancer. And they just keep saying so we've got rectal cancer on one continent, we've got skin cancer, epidermis on another continent, and Huntington's disease on another continent. We're introducing something that is causing the body to cure itself. And these guys are asking the wrong question. They're saying we. They're all being interviewed, of course. We introduced this. We introduced this, and then the body responded and did something. It ate because we put in this chemical. We put in this chemical, and so the body, because we did gene therapy, guys, you're missing 1,000 naturally occurring chemicals. The problem with living a symbiotic life with a water treatment plant is not only is the poop going to the water treatment plant so we can kill 100%, all 1,000 of those species, so the water's returning to you, the water would have returned to you with trillions of the 1,000 species still intact. Instead, it's returning with 0, but it's also returning to you with an antibiotic inside of it. So when you drink the water, you're murdering microorganisms that are living inside of you. Your food is all 100% preserved. 100% preserved. The vegetables at the farm are not grown in a symbiotic relationship, so there should be no expectation that we're going to have any microorganisms returning to us whatsoever from that food. However, then we sprayed them with pesticide, which is antibiotic. Then, when we got to the grocery store, we used chlorinated water to wash off the pesticides. So we removed an antibiotic with another antibiotic. So you're not only not introducing the absolutely necessary microorganisms, you're introducing antibiotic that's going to kill the still living microorganisms. We can argue about how much is left, but you can understand it has to be a reduction of human living in their life cycle has these chemicals to use. However, we have another system that they're not mentioning whatsoever. Your body is measuring at your house. How many edible animals do you have presently? How much food is growing in your garden, ready to eat? How much food is growing in your trees, your fruit trees? Fruit trees are absolutely free. Instead of throwing away the seeds of your apple, you put it in the ground. You just put it in the ground, and they do their own sweet thing, and now you've just got a food forest outside. Your body is measuring that food forest and saying, are we harboring sufficient carbohydrate, protein on the hoof, so to speak, and microorganisms coming back to us? If there's sufficient, the body is going to express health equity. your right hemisphere is going to say to your left hemisphere, which is what kind of identifies as you, hey, let's go for exercise. Let's go for a run today, man. That healthy thing you were thinking about doing, let's throw down some fucking dopamine so that you get pumped. You're going to see pictures of beautiful women and beautiful sunsets and just beautiful cows, just beautiful bright green scenes, beautiful bodies of water. Spit there a little bit. And receive dopamine. That body has decided to live, and so it's telling the host, hey, we got to exercise, we got to preserve health, so we live a super long time. High quality life. Now, if there's insufficient, the body chooses death. And so the body, these people should be saying, what the fuck? Did the human body just eat cancer? And then, next question, wait a minute. Why isn't it eating cancer? If we only figure out how to cure one cancer, but we have not caused this body to choose to use its own self-diagnosing, self-repairing system that we were utilizing for millions of years until these assholes intentionally separated us from our life cycle so that they could trigger mass consumerism. This person will now consume to death. They'll just put shit in their body until they die of the shit they're putting in their body. A voice inside of their head will say, hey man, that red soda pop, that's great. Eat that 3 times a day. Eat more than is recommended per sitting 3 times per day. And then when you get cancer, your body's not going to cure it. It can, but it's not going to. Because we have switched zombie. We have switched first death. The goal of the body in first death is to get in the motherfucking soil. So your body will say, the right hemisphere is going to whisper, hey, that soda pop is the shit. Give me some more of that. And when you catch the obvious cancer from the obvious source, your body's simply going to choose not to repair it. We probably don't have the chemicals present. That's why you're paying for your boners. That's why you're paying for your GLP-1s. That's why you're paying for testosterone. Those things are all being made naturally, for free, 0 side effects in a human that's living in their life cycle. But then we have a switch. Peak. If we have measured inside of our yard and we have sufficient protein and carbohydrates growing in the yard with a constant supply of microorganisms returning to the human, now we have right to life. If we have sufficient, we have right to life. If we have a little bit more, enough more to make an additional human here, now we have the right to procreate. So your kids are popping out androgynous, your kids are popping out chemical hermaphrodites. 0 sexuality in the entire country. Everybody's just jerking off because the actual females around you look like boys, have boys' personalities, and they're fighting with you. They're super nice till you get into a relationship and then they're saying, hey, stop attacking me. And you're going, hey, I'm not attacking you. And by the way, I've got a computer with girls that actually look like girls and don't want to fight with me. That's where we're at in America. So it's super cool that they found this, but they sort of need to back the fuck up and say, hey, why isn't this already happening? Why isn't this already happening? Why isn't the body signaling? You guys have autoimmune deficiency, autoimmune diseases just flying off of the racks, where your body is identifying your body as a pathogen and attacking your own body. And nobody is saying, hey, what's the root here? We're curing one thing at a time intentionally. If I get you free boner pills for life by getting you back in your life cycle, I'm not going to make millions of dollars selling you boners, trillions of dollars making 1,000 of you buy your boners. I'm not going to make trillions of dollars curing your cancer if your body is curing your cancer, and so they absolutely have to say, they can't just scratch their head and go, hey, why the fuck isn't the body eating cancer by itself? If it's capable of eating rectal cancer, if it's capable of eating skin cancer, it clearly, it wouldn't be a big step to assume it can eat any cancer. Why isn't it? Why are we needing to cause this? Check it out. God dang, I got stuff to do today. Why isn't it? There's nothing to sell. There's nothing to sell. We have to sell individual. We sell you your boners. We sell you your GLP-1s. We sell you your happiness. We sell you your thyroids, chemicals, Synthroid. That's the product coming out. The product going in is T4 and T5s, all being manufactured in your gut. When you research this, it's going to say, well, some of it, there's microorganisms that are helping making some of these chemicals. Some of the serotonin is being made in your gut, but your brain's making 10 or 15 or 20% of the serotonin. We've got all these systems making serotonin. Shit. They're changing the story so that this remains proprietary. The brain is not a manufacturer. The brain is a consumer. Your tummy is making all of the chemicals. Your brain has no source. That's stupid. Your brain is receiving serotonin through a nerve called the vagus nerve. It's so difficult to say that word, knowing the English word Las Vegas. It is so difficult. My brain wants to, especially because I never speak English. We're only speaking Creole and Spanish down here. These chemicals are traveling up. They're not going from that we used to think, hey, serotonin is being made in the brain, and occasionally some of it's being sent down. When you get a heartbreak, where do you hurt? We're saying the heart, but it's your tummy. It feels like I can't breathe because there's a lump, something pressing down on my esophagus. In my tummy, guys, when you get a big old hug from grandma, where do you feel that sense of love? Right there in your tummy. We're describing it as the heart, but we're just off by a couple inches. This is happening in your tummy. If your brain is feeling serotonin, that's these guys sending this up. The brain is a consumer. All of these amazing things are being made in your tummy if you have a sufficient supply of microorganisms in that tummy. Guys, I'm so short on time today. I have so much to do. It's all cool shit, but I just got to get on it. You guys are super important to me. Foster these microorganisms, guys. Value them. They're disappearing off the face of the planet. But right now, they're everywhere. They're free. You can cook intentionally to foster these amazing lives and start feeling. Your sex could be 100% 100 times stronger than what you feel now. But afterwards, have that GLP-1 contentment feeling. Fat people don't feel satiated. Their body says, hey, we need more food. You're going, hey, I'm already full. You've trained yourself. You've stretched your stomach until it's 3 times the size of what it would be by force feeding yourself. Any normal human, when people see me eat a meal, they're like, what was that? You can't eat 2 eggs and be full and do 5 hours of cardio every single day. I'm going, yeah, I'm packed to the brim. Couldn't eat if I wanted to. That's GLP-1 being made inside of a body that's never had a chemical put inside of it. I'm living in my life cycle. I've got 50 fruit trees outside. I got chickens. I got fish that we're raising for consumption on site. So I'm full of these chemicals, guys. When you have sex, you're not supposed to be saying, man, I wish there was a different female. That's not humanity. Monogamy is humanity. Having sex with one female, but not because, oh man, what a bummer. I'm forcing myself. Every time you see this girl's titties, you're like, what is going on? I get to play with those? This is nuts. You're not saying, hey, where are the other titties at? Your mind is blown without this GLP feeling of contentment. You're constantly saying, hey, that wasn't enough sex, that wasn't the correct sex, that wasn't enough food, that wasn't the correct food. If you put these things back, your sensations of happiness are going to be 100 times stronger. But then, after this insane orgasm, you're just going to be content. You aren't going to be saying, all right, but what else? Hopefully tomorrow I get good sex. Guys, foster these amazing things. This is everything. This is everything. These guys are lying to you. You don't have to wait for medicine to sell you $1 million cure for things that the human body just eats. Nobody's saying, hey, why the fuck isn't this body doing something it can already do? None of these people ate cancer. They've simply gotten a system that is turned off to turn back on. That's so fucking cool, guys. That's so fucking cool. I gotta piece it, guys. I'm gonna do this again real soon.